Hello, my name's Rod and I'm a Young People's Worker, and welcome back to my next video. And this time we're going to put your tyre back on, put your wheel back on. As you can see, you've already got the bike from last time. Just to say, if you turn your bike upside down, just watch what you've got in the handlebars there, because sometimes you can scrape stuff there, and it can be at times a little bit wobbly there, so beware of that. It might fall down there. You can sometimes lean it against the wall. So we're assuming now that you've got your inner tube. If you want to do punch repair, I'll speak at the end about how you quickly do that. So we have got from last time, we've got our wheel that's come off there, and I'm going to assume you've got a new tyre as well. And what we want to do is get this tyre back on there. And as you can see here, there's little rims here, and we want to get it overlapping. So you kind of, hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. I am putting this bit on the edge of that, so I can almost get it fitted in. Okay, and then I'm going to be pushing it over the side there. It's a little bit difficult to get on camera, but the idea is you want to get it over one side, so you can see there it's strapped to one side. Next thing to do is to get your inner tube and find the valve, which is where you put the air in, and find the hole where that is. And then what I do is find which side. It's easier to find the side where you can just push it to one side, you can get the valve in there. If you put it in here, you can see you've suddenly got to leap it all over. So it needs to be the side where you can push it to one side and put it in. You're going to do that trial and error. And then pull it over the top there, and then you start pushing in your inner tube. Experts again say put a little bit of air in there because it gives it some shape, and then what you do is just push it around like this. Keep going. Now this wheel happens to be particularly easy. Races are a little bit more difficult, but once you've got it in there, I often find it's quite a good idea to go around and just push it. Just push it around, make sure it's all properly in there. You might find it falls out a bit. Just push that tyre over there. That will make it easier. Now, once you've got your inner tube in there, we now want to get the second bit of the tyre over the top there. And this is where it can get sometimes more complicated. So again, we're going to actually start this time at the valve, because that's the most difficult area to put it back on there. And what you're going to do is you're just going to push the rim over there. So you see now I've pushed it over there, so it sticks behind there. And the idea is quite often to put it in some sort of position like this or like this, doesn't really matter. And the idea is you want to push both hands around there. You can use different techniques, but you push it until it gets to a stage where you feel you can't actually do any more. So this one, you can see the tyres popping out. I'm going to push it back in behind there. Now sometimes you can just keep continuing that process and pushing it and bending it back, and it will just go in naturally. Again, it's popping out there. This one, you could do that. You can also use your levers again that we used last time, and you basically do it in reverse. So again, you want to put this sort of edge there on this bit there. The idea is, put it the wrong way around there, that's great, that edge there, because you're going to put it, it's going to lever out the tyre. So it's trying to do the reverse. Okay, and you can attach it, it probably will fall off, but potentially you should get away with just one. And then the idea is push it back over. Now try and avoid pinching the actual inner tube there. So that is the danger of using a lever. As you can see there, pushing it back, and it's one more and you'd get it. And as I say at the end, I just like physically bending it and pushing it back there. Double check it's actually gone through and nothing's sticking out. So this one, it's actually popped out. But because it's a fairly easy tyre, I can pop it back in there. So yeah, just go around the sides. Nothing sticking out. Is looking in there, can you actually see any of the inner tube sticking out there? If you can, you might sort of puncture it, or when you're pumping it, it comes out there. So you want to basically just double check that it's actually within the tyre. So the next stage is then putting it back onto the bike. So the thing is, which way does it go around there? You want to look, the cogs are going to go onto this derailleur there. So you want the cogs going on the derailleur side. You will quickly notice, if you put it the other way around there, you'd go like, hang on, why is the chain not attached to the cogs? Okay. So you just do the reverse of what we did before. So the first thing is, we need to get it in between the two chains. And this can be a little bit tricky. I wouldn't worry about too much which cog was it on before. Okay, you can change the levers at the front so it's on the back cog there. But what will happen is once you get it on, once you pedal it around there, it'll go onto the right cog. The thing you want to probably do here is, this is where you might need to lift your derailleur this end there a little bit and try and fit. It's not easy at times. And try, can you see there that the cog's actually gone in there? So you've actually got the chain on one of those cogs there. And then what you do is you then push this back bit until it reaches the grooves there. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Now, the next stage is to put your nuts back on here. Now sometimes look out for a groove there. Some of the older bikes, they don't exactly go right to the end, they might be slightly up a bit. So just try and put it back where the grooves are. And again, righty-tighty. I'm not going to do this one totally, but with your spanner, do both sides, make sure it's tight. Okay, and then just check, turn your wheel, does it seem to turn? Now, quite often here we forget to about the brakes. You will need to attach whatever brake system you had before. So this one, I'm going to put it there, and this is where you will see, has it really worked? It seems to be turning. So we've got our wheel back on there. This is where, pump it up, you can pump it up before. I tend to pump it up at the end. And that's that. If you do want to do puncture repair, the technique is bowl of water, put it in water, pump up your oil in the tube, you'll see some bubbles coming out, mark it with the crayon that comes with puncture repair kit, let the air out, dry the tyre, use the sandpaper or the bottom of the box to roughen the edge up where the hole is, that's so the rubber glue sticks better. Find your patch, which is a little thing like that, remove the silvery bit. This is a tip where people tend to get it wrong. You want to put lots and lots and lots of glue around there so that you can get the full patch on there, and then let it almost go dry so it's tacky, and then you put it on there and then you squeeze it on. Once that is done, experts say put it back in the wheel and then pump it up. I sometimes kind of cheat and pump it up a few minutes later, put it back in the water, and if nothing comes out, I'm kind of satisfied it's done. Problem with puncture repairs is quite often they do not really work, and it's you just spend a lot of time getting frustrated. Anyway, next one we'll have a look at chains. So thank you and see you next time.